Hello, I'm Maxxx Pleasure. Recent events have brought the debate of who should and shouldn't be playing LGBTQ plus characters in film and television to a very loud volume. Straight actor James Corden, who I thought was gay, was nominated for a Golden Globe for his performance in The Prom, where he played a flamboyant theater teacher or something. Then there's The Worlds to Come, another lesbian period drama that is being released this month. None of the actors are gay, or at least none of them are out gay. In the Outfest Q&A panel that I attended, the actors and filmmakers very expertly dodged the question. The trans actors, who make up the majority of the cast of Pose, MJ Rodriguez, Angelica Ross, Dominique Jackson, India Moore, Hallie Sahar, have been snubbed again this award season. Neil Patrick Harris said he thinks it's sexy when straight actors play gay, which was definitely not the take I was expecting to hear during this conversation. There's a lot going on. This discussion is brought up again and again, but I feel like this conversation always revolves around the wrong role. I feel like we're focusing on the wrong area. And I also feel like people often forget a fundamental part of the queer experience when having these discussions. And these things are key for actually moving forward from this cyclical conversation that we keep having and making change actually happen. My opinion, do I think that gay, lesbian, bisexual, pansexual characters need to be played by actors of the same sexuality? Simple answer, no. But this isn't a simple question, hence an entire YouTube video dedicated to it. Here's my long answer. Actors are actors. They're people doing a job. And I don't think anyone should be asked their sexuality during a job interview. Because that is what it is really when you get down to it. There are actors who are gay, who are queer, who are not out to the public for whatever reason. And I think of the people who choose not to label themselves, and the people whose sexuality doesn't fit in a neat little box, and the people who aren't monosexual, who are instead bisexual or pansexual. What happens then? Do these people then have to share their experiences and detail this very intimate part of them to get a job? And then once they get the job, do it all over again to an audience on a global scale? It doesn't feel right to me. I label myself as bisexual, a label that already warrants all kinds of disclaimers and explanations because it's so misunderstood and so often invalidated. My personal experience is so much more layered and nuanced than any one word could encapsulate, could cover. I mean, as is everyone's, I guess. But like me specifically, there's my romantic history, there's my sexual history, there's my ideal, like internal experience, and then there's my outward presentation. Some would say I look cis, but I'm not cis. Some could even say I look straight, but I'm not straight. On top of all that, there's growth over time and fluidity. It's just too individual and too nuanced and too layered to be packaged into a carefully crafted celebrity narrative and into a talking point on a press tour, or to put on a resume for a job. And that's what I feel like people forget during these debates. Sexuality is not a cut and dry, straightforward thing. I don't think it's right to demand labels and explanations from people, from anyone. I mean, people say like, oh, celebrities are public figures. Actors are people who act. All that celebrity bullshit, that's extra. The two don't necessarily go together. I mean, I love following along with celebrity culture and with gossip and speculation, especially when the celebrity encourages that speculation. But to demand that kind of intimacy from someone, to defend why they should be doing what they're doing, I don't think that's right. And like another part of this, thinking just of the sapphic community, there are actresses who are straight, who are absolutely beloved for playing lesbian characters. Like, I'm thinking of Cate Blanchett, Natasha Lyonne, who apparently is not gay. I was shocked when I found out that she was not a lesbian. It begs the question, why is it okay for them, but not for everyone else? And that's like a whole other things. I don't know the answer. I mean, it's probably just because they're sexy. Kate just has like this energy. Also, Zendaya too. She plays a queer character on Euphoria, but isn't out. But I do know that it's unfair that there are actors who are hiding their sexuality for fear of losing opportunities by avoiding the question or bearding or burying themselves in the closet, while there are straight and cisgender actors who are getting awards for playing gay and trans parts. That's just plain wrong. Straight and cis actors shouldn't be reaping benefits for the same reason that queer actors are suffering. Until all of that stops happening, I believe that Hollywood, wherever, everywhere, should make it a point to cast gay characters with gay actors. I'm not saying that gay actors should only play gay characters. I feel like that would be kind of backwards. That would be limiting the opportunities that gay actors can have because of their sexuality, which is what we want to avoid. But I do feel like even in this ideal future where queer actors have nothing to fear by coming out, therefore anyone can play queer characters, I think that if a queer character called for a specific physicality, like especially one that would be considered stereotypical, like a flamboyant, effeminate gay man or a butch woman, then that character should be played by a queer actor who lives that physicality. Or else it's just offensive parody. And trans people should 100%, without a doubt, always be played by trans people. This is where I plug Disclosure Doc. Watch it on Netflix. I think that the emphasis when taking part in this conversation should be more on having queer people behind the camera rather than in front. LGBTQ plus films need to be directed by LGBTQ plus people. The director is the person who's responsible for how that story gets told and how the actors act and all of that. If anyone needs to have an intimate understanding of the queer experience in order to bring a queer story to life, it's the directors and also the screenwriter. So, like, next steps. What can us normal people do to usher in this change? In interviews with NBC News and Insider and other news outlets, filmmakers said that one of the obstacles for casting gay actors in gay parts was that films need star power to get made, and that most Hollywood stars are straight. I don't really believe that, but okay. Maybe most Hollywood stars say that they're straight. So I guess what we can do to combat that obstacle is give out LGBTQ plus actors star power. We can follow them on social media, interact with them on social media. We can make it a point to pay to see their projects so that that success shows in the box office and shows in the numbers that go to producers' desks. We can stream their stuff legally. We can also tweet praise at the projects that do this right. Social media response is what has gotten us to the point that we're at now, where these discussions are happening and we're seeing change start. We can put the pressure on. We can push progress even further. Long story short, it's not that I think straight actors should play queer characters. It's that I don't want queer actors who aren't out or who are unsure about what words to use to describe their sexuality to be forced to be out, to put a label on it in order to work. And maybe I'll think differently as we progress, as things change, but right now that's really how I'm feeling about it. I think there's a future where actors who aren't out gay can bring gay characters to life, guided by a queer filmmaker behind the camera. But in order to reach that point, LGBTQ plus actors need to be employed just as much as their straight counterparts. And studios should prioritize these out actors when casting gay characters. Well, that's my soapbox moment for the week. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give me a like. I encourage you to share this video. Let's refocus the debate on the parts that people too often glaze over. And if you want to see more from me, you can subscribe to my channel.